G'day! It's August 3rd and I'm long overdue for a tour. I was supposed to do one at the end of July because I did one at the end of June, but a lot of stuff has been happening, and when I got off my trip there was a couple storms and some damage to the garden and there was so much weeding to be done, so I did that first, and now I have some time, so I'll just quickly go through everything quickly. I'm all sniffly. It's because the gravel dust is making me allergic. Sorry. So here's the wide view of, this is the north side of the flower beds. This is Starry Night hibiscus, and there are buds, so it's doing okay. Down here we got Laura garden phlox. And back here, it's Sky's the Limit climbing rose. It's a yellow rose, and I got, I think, 3 of them, and then it stopped, and now it's just pushing out growth. Down here, I cut them back, but they're an orange Asiatic lily, and I've got 3 of them donated by my mama. Then I have, this one's called Party Girl Garden Phlox, and it hasn't bloomed yet, but it's kind of like a very light pink. And then this one, which is full of mildew, sadly. I mean, I've been treating it since it started growing, and it's still got crazy mildew on it. Anyway, this one's called Glamour Girl Garden Phlox. Then we have an echinacea, also known as coneflower, and this one's called Sombrero Granada Gold. And I don't know if I got some issues with my echinacea this year. In the middle here, there's just been a lot of, I don't know, funky looking middle sections, so maybe mite damage of some sort. Otherwise it could be aster yellows, which would be very scary, because then I would have to cut the whole plant down. And actually no, I would take it out. I have to take it out. So we got some sedum here. It's called Prima Angelina. And then one right here, that is called Queen Alexandra Oriental Poppy, and it has a little buddy over here. In the middle, you'll see boulder blue fescue grass. Okay, above that we have purple leaf sand cherry shrub, and they were eaten by Japanese beetles. But I mean, I could only find one, so I killed that one. Next, we have the Incredible Smooth Hydrangea, and then another coneflower echinacea called Red Ombre, and it starts off like these with all the pollen in there, so the bees haven't found that one yet, and it ends up in this gorgeous shape here and a little bit of a pinker color. Rosenrot Veronica Speedwell, and I just have the tag there because I didn't write it down yet, and I have to remember to write that down. Behind it we have a Moonglow Juniper that Coco had been peeing on when I first put it in, and he's stopped since, but it's already damaged. It's okay though, it's put on a lot of growth at the top, as you can see. All the stuff kind of falling over is the baby new growth. Then we've got some Stella Doro daylilies, some creeping phlox here and there. It's kind of like a pink color, but I don't know what the name of it is. This is called Queen Victoria Cardinal Flower. I love the leaves. I love how purple they are, and then great that there's also this really, really poppin' red color. Some irises. And here we have the original Endless Summer Macrophilia Big Leaf Hydrangea. And it did really well its first round of blooms. I think I'm supposed to cut these off now, so all the energy can go into new bloom. That looks like watercolor painting, right? So I'll probably, I don't know if I should cut them off, but that's what I'm told. We've got a Pilu clematis in the back that's actually still got a couple of final 2 blooms and then it's done. Cut it back a little bit, or just deadhead since this is only second year. Then another flush of bloom should occur at the end of August, early September. So that's good. Hopefully this peony down here, it's a light pink peony that I moved from my front yard. Hopefully next year it'll bloom. It did not bloom this year. It was sad. This is a blanket flower that just grows and grows and grows like wide and doesn't sprout anything, and it probably won't until like mid-August, and I'm kind of annoyed that I even bought it. So like, ugh. They're really pretty. They're similar to these actually, only much larger, and they go a lot taller. But I'm like, that's why I put the cages around them. But it's like, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Oh, I forgot to tell you guys about the delphinium. So the reason there's a lot of fence is because actually delphiniums all live there. So there's 2 delphiniums there, and then I have like 5 delphiniums that I spread out across here, and they go like as tall as the fence. And they do have more sprouting happening. I know they're gonna be a lot shorter, but I'm hoping so. If not, I should have left them so that the bugs can like live in them, because they're hollow. The stems are hollow and they're perfect little hidey spots. This next thing is Sunfire Coreopsis, also known as tick seed, and they bloom the whole season. They're native, all that. I've got some Tall Veronica Speedwell here. It doesn't have a name on the tag, which I have kept also. There's another peony. It's a fuchsia color. It's from my mama. She gave it to me and it did not bloom. Maybe next year. Behind it is the Royal Purple Smoke Bush, which grew really tall. And it was like, I cut it back a third from last year, so it's doing great. Under here, we have I think it's in the Brunnera family, but I don't know the variety. It does bloom in the spring, those like baby blue, tiny little flowers. Oh, this is a Artemisia, just like some tall Artemisia that kind of lies down on the ground, and it spreads kind of everywhere, so I gotta be careful with it, but I like how it brightens up a dark corner. It has a great accent with this Leopard Pulmonaria lungwort. Blooms like pink, purple, and bluish flowers, but I haven't seen them yet. Behind it, we've got Rebecca, or Black-Eyed Susan. Here we've got a Euchera that's called Lemon Love. Caesar's brother, Siberian Iris, yes. This is a Emerald Gaiety Euonymus, also known as a winter creeper. And we got some Lamium, also known as dead nettle. This is Samonarda, also known as bee balm, and it's really pretty and it blooms for a really long time. And the bees love it, obviously. And here's the wide angle shot of the west side of the flower beds. And I think actually this is my favorite, even though it's the shade garden. I find the leaf variation of color so striking that even if something's not in bloom, it's extremely colorful. Okay, so this hosta was given to me by my mom, and I don't know the kind, but I looked it up and I think it's called Francie, like France with an extra E. Back there we got an ostrich fern and another ostrich fern all the way in the corner. We got a limelight paniculata hydrangea. Over here, a Euchera. I don't know the variety. And an August moon hosta. This area here, a Sweet Kate spiderwort. In the morning only do they actually bloom their beautiful purple tri-petal flowers, and then they're done for like, they only bloom for half a day. Okay, I'll have to take a picture or something and throw it up. There's a dense blazing star. Doesn't look too dense because I split it from over here. Coco, get out of the garden. You're not camouflaged. Echinacea at the back. It's pink cornflower of some name that I don't have. And then my new, leaf. Rosy Lights Azalea. Down here, another Euchera, and this one is called Wild Berry. This one is called Fire Alarm. And climbing the fence slowly. I thought this was supposed to be a fast growing vine. Is a mandarin orange honeysuckle vine. Bee balm here, but I mostly deadheaded the bee balm. It was done, so it was like one guy left. Focus. Okay, and that one is just pink. I don't know what it's called. This is called Abiqua drinking gourd pasta, and I think the foliage is just stunning, iridescently so. And then we've got Halo lemon frost viola right here. These come up every year. They're not annuals, so that's good. And we've got another lungwort here, leopard, and another wild berry heuchera, and a black-eyed Susan or Rudbeckia. Behind it is a dappled willow shrub, silver mound artemisia. That it doesn't look like a silver mound. It's like a mass right now. It probably needs to be divided. A lime northern exposure heuchera, Monarda bee balm, but it's a dwarf variety, so it doesn't get much higher than that, so it won't impose on the shrub. Behind it we have some lamian with white flowers and more of that Siberian iris that I probably need to cut because it's brown. Then we have a cedar globe here, echinacea, coneflower, coral color, an orange and coral. We have a cocoa bean, cocoa bean, gorgeous Jack Frost Brunnera. Oh, is it Brunnera or Brunnera? I feel like it's Brunnera. Behind it, in front of Coco, we have ginger wine 9 bark, more of that tall red Monarda bee balm. But we have 2 heuchera coral bells here. They're called Rio. I have them in the front yard too. And some more violas, lemon frost, same ones as the other one. More Rudbeckia, black-eyed Susans. Oh, this gorgeous firelight paniculata hydrangea. Oh, it's so nice. With this changing of color, like just slowly taking its time to turn red, which I love. I don't want it to turn red right away. It brightens up the corner too with the white. And we've got a Japanese painted fern here that's growing nice and tall. I think I want to split it and share it around to other parts of the garden. We have, kind of disappointed, woodland phlox, and it only bloomed for like, God, it was barely any blooms. It was like 2 weeks, and they say deep shade should work. I'm very disappointed in it, and it's a native. Here we have 2 autumn frost hostas. Those aren't real. I'm sure everyone can tell. And I need a new door because this one just drags against the side and the paint comes off. I really want a swinging door for this shed. Project for later. So this is the wide angle view of the south facing, no, it's not south facing, sorry, it's just on the south side. It's like, I guess north facing, but disregard the laundry. And yeah, it's doing okay. There are some delphiniums tucked away right in here. I always forget because I can't see them. They're growing. Next, on this side of the garden, we have a green mountain boxwood, which I am going to shape into a tall skinny cone right here for some vertical interest. I have songbird cardinal columbine. There's the visions of white astilbe that never came to bloom, and hoping next year will do. I mean, I just planted it a month ago. Pinky Winky paniculata hydrangea here. Got 2 blooms, 3. I have more viola here, but it's a different variety. It's called Etain or Etain. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Etain. I've got some Rudbeckia, black-eyed Susan. I have a Daisy May Shasta daisy, which are just finishing up. Above it, we have a rainbow pillar serviceberry shrub that's growing really fast, and which blooms white in the spring, then forms red berries that you can eat, and then turns like, I guess, a really pretty orangey red in the fall. We'll see. It didn't do it last year, to be honest. It just dropped its leaves. but maybe that was his first year. Maybe it'll do it this year. Some more halo lemon frost violas, and above it a kapow purple garden phlox. And it is kapow, look at that. And this one hardly has any of that mildew stuff. Amazing. I like them. Kapow. This was a Monarda, so bee balm, that's called Be You Believe. And bee is like bee. And we got a Sunfire Coreopsis tick seed here. We have a disappointing salvia. This is a second flush of blooms, but I just find they're so puny and I have to stake them or they just lie down like that. Tall phlox, garden phlox. It's called Light Blue Flame. And it's pretty, it stands out, but it got a bunch of mildew. Oof. It's got some new growth, but like something's attacking it. There's mildew, it's a big mess. This is what happens, I find, at the end of July. Some things just get attacked and it's not their best time. And what do we got down here? This little guy is a blue star juniper. So cute. Oh my God. Yeah, that's adorable. I hope he gets bigger. I know they might be slow at growing. Behind it, another evergreen yellow ribbon arborvitae or cedar. Another Queen Victoria cardinal flower, and oh yeah, the pink that's just my neighbors, like they're doing laundry or something, so just threw that over there. Yeah, it's not part of the garden. This is a pink cotton candy daylily, I think. I lost the tag, I searched it up. This is my best guess. So pretty. And oh yeah, a whole lot of irises that I think I probably need to split and cut back. This Coreopsis, also known as tick seed, is called Yellow and Red. Okay, they weren't too creative on this name, but it's clumpier. I find it's like different than the other ones. So I'll give you an example of the other ones. Like this one's Sunkiss, and this one's actually my favorite. Sunkiss I had last year and I loved it. And this one is Yellow and Red. Oh, and there's some, yeah, the Boulder Blue fescue grass. There's some more Shasta daisies, looking better because this gets the sun, but they're still like, it's the end. It's time. And Japanese maple, supposed to be Crimson Queen, but I think it's too much shade here, so or maybe it's just this is what it does in the summer. I'm not sure, but it's supposed to get red later in the fall. Underneath we got some lamian with some white flowers. Cropstone crop. Sedum here is called Carl. I think it's bright pink. Yeah, bright pink in the fall. I got some irises here from my sister. They're purple. And over here's an echinacea. I know it's not a normal color for echinacea. It's called Sunseeker Salmon. Yep, that's it. Sunseeker Salmon. Yep. And then I've got a dogwood, a ivory halo red twig dogwood that I'm hoping will grow so big it will cover that AC unit and I won't see it from this angle. And then back here it is a Zephyrin Druin pink rose that's growing kind of perfect. Like I just put a trellis here maybe and grow up here and grow up my makeshift trellis, hopefully. Apparently you're supposed to kind of guide it and stuff. I just want it to go like woo 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 woo. And it flowered one rose and that's it. I'm like, that's fine. You just make sure you survive the winter and I'll be happy. And if you don't, I'll be sad. But I won't be surprised because I don't think it's gonna be all that hardy. Okay, now for the island. I've got some Firecracker Sun Sparkle Sedum, Sunstruck Heliopsis or false sunflower with variegated leaves. So pretty, so expensive. I've got just some creeping phlox that I moved from the other location there. Purple Emperor Sedum. Then we have this sedum is called Atlantis, and it does bloom yellow. Oh yeah, and new growth has this beautiful like pink tone to it. 2 butterfly weeds here. There's just like a baby one that I added because I just wanted more right as soon as possible. And here it already had a huge flush of blooms, and it's just making more buds, and it just keeps on trucking, and it's really tall, so I had to prop it up. And oh, love these cat's pajamas. Nepeta. This is called a Velvetini dwarf smoke bush. It's made off of the royal purple one. We got some creeping phlox here again. This one's actually called emerald blue. I wrote the name down. And hopefully the dianthus will survive. This one is called tickled pink. Next door we have sun gold euonymus winter creeper. Bright yellow on the new growth. As you can see here, this is new growth. Then it variegates, and then it turns green and dark green. Isn't that cool? That is cool. Midnight Masquerade Penstemon, and it's a beautiful purple tall flower, but it's done. So another dianthus here. It's less blue tone in leaf color, and this one's not flowering at all right now, and I'm a little disappointed, but it did have flowers. Oh, see, I missed one, so I just popped that off. One over here, it's the same variety. Oh, I didn't even tell you the variety. It's called Silver Star Dianthus. Silver Star. It's another sedum, Dazzleberry. Thank God I brought my notes out. I never remember all these names. Then we have a dwarf blue spruce, and I can't wait to see those little, like in the spring, those like little new growth stubs that happen on the ends in the spring, and they're like super blue and just different and soft. That's what I'm looking forward to. I don't know, I think it's cool. Some garden phlox, white this time. I don't know the variety name. White, it's called white. Behind it, oh here, oh yeah, well, this is another echinacea coneflower. It's called Lakota Fire. It's kind of like a red orange. And lastly, we have right in the phlox, oh gosh, this guy that's constantly chewed by my dog, because my dog likes chewing grass, and he thinks this ornamental grass is is Japanese bloodgrass, and I don't think it'll ever survive him. And up top we have a tiger eyes sumac. I love this color so much. It really is striking against the grass and anything. It's just such a chartreuse color. So I'm propping up my bloomerang lilac, sorry. And yeah, it's rebloomed a little bit, or it's starting to. And this is, ooh, the long shot. Coco says hi. So that was my end of July / it's actually August tour, and it's starting to rain right now, so I'm gonna head back inside and let this lovely young garden get some water. And I hope everyone has a good week, and I'll see you next time.